Hello everybody, I am Fuzzy Face and welcome to another edition of Motorsport Manager Career Mode on the PC. We are jumping straight in this time. We've got a politics vote coming up. We've just done the Vancouver race where we had quite a lot of good luck, where a lot of the other cars seemed to have problems towards the end of the race, and we ended up finishing 7th and 8th. Obviously not good enough for points because you need to finish in the top 5 for points in this series, but we aren't doing too bad overall. Santa Ana is still 3rd in the drivers' standings with 1 win to her name. Latinen is down in 10th with 3 points, not doing too badly, so even that at 3 points is a lot better than expected. We're still waiting for the telemetry centre to be upgraded, which means we can build better gearboxes. In the interim, I have started work on a new gearbox. It's got about 6 days to finish, so we're ready to build those gearboxes that have the grey element to them, so we can make the big leaps for next season. We do have some new sponsors here for, I think it was, I can't remember what the name of it, Ishiwara, that we had. Obviously these offer for high up, so we don't take, we're not bothered about bonus payments because it's not something we're ever going to be aiming for. But of course, we are going to take this upfront payment of £1.2 million, so that will take us back into the green even after having built that new gearbox, so we're doing alright there. Most of the parts now are improved to the point that we can do. Santa Ana's parts are all fully improved now. There's no work to do there. We're currently working on these 4 parts for Latin, and it says it'll be done 7 days before the race, but obviously we're gonna have to put some focus on the new gearbox when it's built, because it's not as good as the gearboxes we've got at the moment, but it's got some improvability to it. We can add some more to the max, so we can go ahead and improve that, and it should be a lot better than the gearbox we have at the moment. But anyway, we've got this vote coming up, which is points for top 8. I'm not too bothered about that. It's neither here or there for us. Maybe we'll score some more points, and maybe the teams around the bottom teams will score more points, and maybe that will work against us maybe. But I'm not too bothered about it because I'm saving up my votes to vote for this next time out. Spec rear wings. It worked for us in the European series, getting the spec brakes as well. So the more parts that we can get as spec parts here, which is why I'm not working on the rear wing this season in hope of getting this vote to go in our favour. If we can get this as a spec part, then there's a lot less parts that we have to concentrate on building. And we know from our strategy that usually with an alright car, especially in the European season, that we can beat the other teams, and especially this season it's proved that with an alright car, with our strategy and just a bit of race management, we can get quite high up the order. So hopefully we can get spec rear wings voted for next time round. We can go ahead and do that. So we're going to abstain again from this one, just to get that +1 vote for the next one. And a lot of people are against this one, so maybe that's a lot of the bigger teams there are voting against this one. So we'll just abstain, and we'll go ahead and see how this goes here. So maybe I'll just skip to the end of this one. It does look like it's going to get voted down. Look at that, 8 votes to 3. So if we'd have voted 4 like I probably would have done for that one, it would have been a wasted vote. So we made the right decision there, abstaining. There's another vote in 56 days, which is the spec rear wing one. And then we've got a vote on the Brutus tyres, which aren't as durable as the Cortez, so maybe that will work against us, as we like to go quite a long time on our tyres. We try like to get the full fuel tank out with Santa Ana and do the 8 laps, so maybe the Brutus tyres won't be for us because they're just quicker tyres, which should affect the higher cars, meaning they'll be able to get out and pull ahead away from us, and then we won't be able to put our strategy into a full effect, like we did so well in Phoenix here, where we started at the back of the grid. Santa Ana there, she started here in 20th, and we managed to get her up into 1st place by the end of the race from using that strategy. But anyway, we've got Yokohama. It's another short track. It's another 19 lap track. It's probably another shorter track that's not going to work in our favour, just like Vancouver didn't early on, until a lot of those cars had reliability problems. It's going to probably be another dry race. There might be a chance of rain here. Does it actually give us a percentage rain chance? I don't think it does. It does there, but it don't for the current race, so I don't. There could be a little chance. I'm not expecting it to rain. So we're going to go ahead now and move to the next Grand Prix, and we'll pick back up with practice for Yokohama. So it's just about time to go to practice now for the Yokohama Grand Prix. We did get the gearbox built here. We've managed to improve it no, that wrong one. We managed to improve it just enough to get it above the current part that we have there, and we managed to get quite a bit of work done on the reliability there. So we're going to go ahead and put it in Santa Ana's car, as we always do. we'll be able to give now Latin an improved gearbox here, so she's quite happy with that now, having a gearbox that's pretty close to Santa Ana's. Managed to get both cars increased. We've not managed to move up much. We've got the worst car, but we still don't have the worst part in a lot of them, other than the rear wing, which is what we're trying to get changed next year, so that's something we're not concentrating on this year. So that's to be expected, so we'll go for this one again, because as I said, I don't think we're going to get that. We didn't get it last time, so we made the right decision last time. We just managed to get the £100,000. Of course, I don't think we get it for qualifying. Did I get it for qualifying? I think Latin might have finished high enough last time to get that for the qualifying, did she? I'm not sure. No, Latinum was outside that. So we've got the parts fitted that we want. We've got Yokohama, which seems to be a lot of slow corners here. So we're probably going to need a bit of downforce, some acceleration, maybe a bit of oversteer. Maybe that's what we're going to try and focus on here for practice. See how good of a setup. We've done quite well this year with setups. Last year in the European Series I had all my notes from the previous season. That gave me a base to get pretty much excellent setups all the way through. This season I've not been on any of these tracks before, so I'm not quite sure what the setup is needed. It's just a matter of sort of judging what we need. And we've actually got some rain here. It looks like it said it was going to be sunny for practice. It's not going to bother us too much early on because we're just coming out to set lap time, so we're going to go quite high. They actually want a bit of understeer, don't they? So we'll go quite high. Probably focus more on acceleration because we've got quite a lot of corners here, but then there's this light section, so maybe we need a better balance between and quite hard on the suspension there. Hopefully that's somewhere around where we need to be. Latinen, maybe we won't go quite as high with Latinen. So she wants it more in the middle. We won't mess with these for this first lap. We'll see what she says about those. But anyway, we'll go ahead and take practice and we'll pick back up with some setups further down the line. Right, so I've done 2 laps now. We're pretty much there with Santa Ana. We got an 87 first time out, and second time out we actually got a 98%. We got the downforce right straight away. We were off with the handling and a little bit off with the speed balance, so now we just need to get... So do we need to go a little bit more this way? Try that this time out. Hopefully that gets us where we need to be. Not done quite as well with Latinum. We did get the downforce bang on for her straight away. She wanted it. We went the right decision and went a little bit less than what Santa Ana wanted. So we went in the right direction with speed. So should we go that way? If we go one up, we'll go back this way, and that way maybe that'll tie them both up. We'll just go around once more and then we'll start thinking about setting some lap times here. So we're going to go around one more time and we'll pick back up. Probably now for qualifying. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and get to qualifying now. So we'll see how we get on with these setups, because we're just going to go around a bunch of times now after this and try and see where we're at lap time wise. Although it's going to be raining, I don't think it's going to stop raining before the end of the session. It's a pretty quick track, so we might be able to get quite a few times in. We'll see how we did in practice when we come back and go ahead and see what we can do in qualifying. Latin managed to set the 5th quickest time whilst on a pair of intermediates. The quickest time was on softs. Santa Ana came out on softs just at the end of the session as the track dried out a little bit, but we didn't manage to get much of an improved time, basically because we got held up with quite a lot of cars on a few of the tight corners. I think at one point all the cars came to a stop pretty much for some reason. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and take qualifying now. I did go for the race trim there, so we've got a little bit of boost for the race trim. We don't need any of that, I don't think. Have we got any? We're going to have to take it anyway, aren't we? The little slot for the intermediates, even though we're not going to be using the intermediates, I don't think. Lattinen got a little bit of time out on the softs during practice, but didn't manage to set a time on it. And that last little adjustment we made a little adjustment to speed balance. We managed to get a 99% here with Lattinen. So hopefully she's a bit quicker. We didn't get quite as near. We got 98% with Santa Ana in the end. Fresh pair of softs for both of them during qualifying. I'm going to send Santa Ana out first this time. We'll try and get the jump straight away here. Well, it's not probably not going to work because there's going to be a lot of cars coming out of the pits. So we'll go ahead and try and push here. Oh, we've got a car in front of us, so we don't want to let this car behind us get past. And where is the point that we need to go? So we're about halfway there, so it looks like it's on another bend again, is it? Is it somewhere around here we need to try and cool down for? Let's try and cool down here. Let that car get past us. Perfect for both of them there, so we did quite well with Santa Ana there. We'll try and get Latinen out here just as Santa Ana comes around. So I'm going to try the same again there, so hopefully we can get it around the same time. Hopefully Santa Ana don't get held up here. She looks like she's got a bit of clear track here. There's going to be quite a bit of bunching there towards that corner, isn't there? She's getting held up here. It looks like she is. Looks like she's just passed a few cars that could have been holding her up. Hopefully it didn't get held up too much. So where did we slow down last time? Just about here, wasn't it, that we slowed down? And then... oh, her tyres weren't cooling down as much as Santa Ana's did. But did Santa Ana get a 120? Not the best of laps there. Latinen looks to have a little bit of clear air here at least, although she's quite far behind already. And getting slowed down a little bit there. Yeah, she's dropped quite far down the order there. She has to dodge these cars and it gets held up again there, so almost 10 seconds behind there with Latinen. It's just crazy the amount of time to get held up on these qualifying laps. Not really a big fan of how qualifying goes here. I'm not really a fan of the minigame, maybe that's because I'm so rubbish at it. But qualifying should really be down to the driver's skill, really. That's why we pick these drivers. So I'm not quite a fan of the minigame, but hopefully it looks like we're going to get some nice clear track here with Santa Ana. Get perfect, but overheated a little bit, so let's try and get Santa Ana out, Latinen out just as Santa Ana comes past again. Should we have a look? Are we going to have clear track here? Looks like we might have a bit of clear track after the warm-up lap's done, after the out lap's done. It looks like Santa Ana's been caught by a few cars there on this corner. I'll try to battle away with her. Turn Latinen up here, so what? 3 seconds behind off the first sector there because of these cars coming out of the pits. Absolutely ridiculous that we keep getting held up on all these qualifying sessions. We're in a lot of traffic here with Latinen now. Her temperatures don't seem to cool down just as much. We do it good and perfect. Hopefully she don't get held up this lap. And Santa Ana was a lot slower there, even though we got perfect for both things. So it just goes to show that clear track is more important than whatever the tyre temperatures and brake temperatures are around here. That's it for Santa Ana now. No chance of improving her, but Latinen looks to be doing a little better here. So maybe we can move her up the order a bit. But she got 12th. Ah, so well done Latinen there, getting inside the top 13 for that £100,000 bonus. So we're back down the bottom of the grid again, but I can't help but feel we could have done a lot better than if it wasn't a lot for the stupid AI cars blocking us off during qualifying. Although maybe that mimics real life a bit of other cars getting in the way a bit. But there doesn't seem to be a lot of room to get a lot of clean laps in during qualifying. Yeah, it's could have probably done a lot better with Santa Ana. She got held up at one point, almost slowing down to about like pit lane speed, just outside the pit lane. Coming across the finish line, it looks like we got rain for the race as well. So it looks like we're going to start on inters, so we're not going to be able to run our usual strategy. Should we run this? Should we run the race trim? Yeah, we'll run the race trim because this is not going to last for the race, I don't think. Wrong one. And maybe the risk taker is going to come in handy for... So we're going to have to fill up and not push the tyres too much because I don't know how long the rain's going to last for. And we should be able to put 8 laps of fuel in, should we? Or should we do that? The rain's going to get a bit lighter but not going to stop, so we're going to be on the intermediates for quite a while, I think. So just get the tyres up to temperature. We'll push Latin in a bit like we normally do, and we'll try have Santa Ana go until we know what the weather's going to be like a bit further on during the race. So hopefully we can have another pretty decent race here. Maybe these other cars have got their cars up to scratch now, and we're not going to have that same boost like we did in the last race where we gained quite a few places in the last lap. So that might not work in our advantage too much this season. Santa Ana's dropped back down to last place there as we're having her try go, as we try and keep an eye on this. So maybe we can push her, because it does look like the weather's going to take hold a bit further on, doesn't it? So we're going to probably need to attack on these tyres just to get them up to speed, don't we? Maybe that's why she's dropped behind, because these tyres are pretty cold. Latin doing a good job of getting back up into 12th place here, but going to lose it on this bend. So just keep an eye on this weather. It looks like it's going to dry out. Just after there, the rain's going to stop and the temperature's pretty high, so the track's going to dry out pretty quickly after that lap. So should we think about pitting one right on the border of that? The soft tyres should be able to run in that sort of weather, because the intermediates drop off towards the bottom end of water on the track. So if it's just damp, which is what I think that is at the start of lap 5, just damp, the intermediates and these might have about the same effectiveness just before it dries off. So should we go ahead and do that with Santa Ana? Risk her since she's further down the grid, further down the pack. I think that's what we'll go ahead and do. So we're going to come in early so we can keep pushing these tyres. We're going to have to cool them down a little bit here for Latinen. Those are running a little bit hotter. Maybe we can turn these down so they don't get too hot for Santa Ana. She starts losing time. Again, it's definitely going to be dry for about lap 6, isn't it? So we're going to go ahead and start thinking about bringing Santa Ana in just as we get around a couple more laps. Hopefully it don't lose us too much time being on a little bit of a wet track with softer tyres on. Maybe the other cars will try pit around then as well. So maybe they'll try go a lap longer. Have we got enough fuel to get both cars around to that point? I think we've got about another lap after this one, haven't we? So it's a lap after this one that we're going to do it. I'm going to have to stop pushing on these tyres now because they're too hot. Probably can try and conserve them but cool the tyres down. So we're coming around now. A lot of them seem to be coming in at this point. Are they coming in a swap? So we're not going to come in this lap. So a lot of these are coming in whilst we're still going to be pushing. So hopefully we can gain a bit of time on these cars. They look to have come in way too early. It looks like Latinen's going to actually take a little bit of a hit here, doesn't it? Because I don't want to stack the cars in the pits. Is Latinen going to lose more time doing that? I think she is, isn't she? So we're going to have to go ahead and stack them as they come around. So we're going to go with the softs. A lot of them seem to go for the mediums for this middle stint. But I think we could get a pair of softs with one more stop to the end of the race. We don't have enough fuel to finish the race, but that's because we can't put enough in. We'll try risk a fast one so we don't hold Latinen up too much as well doing the pit stop. So I'm going to go fast here. And we'll keep pushing. Should we just wreck these tyres? If we go ahead and push on them? We're coming in now anyway, so we're holding Latinen up a little bit, but not too much. We're going to try and go see how long we can go on these tyres now. So we're out in 10th place here. Worked out quite well for us there with Santa Ana. Plus we have... what was that? A warning came up there. Something flashed up, but I clicked off it straight away. I don't know what that was. Something flashed up red then. Not quite sure what it was. Maybe it was Santa Ana asking to come in for intermediate tyres, as they seem to do in this game. But the track's drying out now, although the temperature's dropping quite suddenly, so we might be heading for more rain for the end of the race. We do have Latinen pushing here just to keep up a little bit, just because she's going to be coming in a bit earlier than Santa Ana, so we can afford to have a push. We probably need to push the tyres as well to heat them up. We can probably put these back into the middle range now with Santa Ana so we can get through with these. And Santa Ana's doing quite well now, up in 9th place. battling away there for 8th place, but I don't think she's going to get it from Krantz. So we're not doing too badly with this race. The weather seemingly to work in our favour there. Is that a Brook? Seemed to be a car there just in the middle of the track. Did I see a car? Was that a ghost car? I'm not sure. Lattinen doing well at holding on to 5th, so we need to get about a lap difference of fuel between these two cars. So we can still afford to have Lattinen push. Temperatures are getting quite high, so maybe we can go ahead and conserve these now. Keep pushing on these ones, and we're about at the point where we can drop her down. She's dropping down the order now as well. So 11 laps remaining. So we should just be able to do this with one more stop. And it looks like a few of these, if they're coming in, this one's coming in for their... Is that their first stop? It can't be their first stop. Crows? They only made one stop. No, second stop. It just took a while to update this. So she's going to have to come in and make a third stop at some point. So maybe a few of these cars ahead of us are going to do that if they come in on this lap. Is anyone going to be pitting? Let's go ahead and have a look. Yeah, a lot of these look to be like they're going to be doing 3 stops here. Whereas we should be able to stretch this out and just do 1 stop towards the end of the race. Although a few of them have gone past. Can we get on the back of that? We've got hot tyres. Tyres are getting pretty hot here, aren't they? Even just running in neutral mode. So hopefully we can just do our usual trick here. We'll just stick to our strategy. See how far we can get. Lattinen's coming round. Have we got enough in these tyres to make them last another 2 laps? I'm not quite sure, but a lot of them now are coming in. They're going to have to run in low engine mode if they want to get to the end of the race on this tank of fuel that they've now got. So maybe that's going to work in our favour here. Lattinen now running in 10th. We've got a little bit of distance here over the pits, so it's just whether she can make these tyres last as long as we want her to. There's other cars coming in behind us now, ready to come into the pits. So we're getting up now into 5th place here, and a lot of those are diving into the pits. So hopefully we can go ahead. Well, we're not going to go ahead and push here. We're going to save that towards the end of the race. Lattinen now coming round. She should have enough fuel in this car to push for this final lap before the pits. Let's just check if we do this. If you put that into overtake mode like that, it does give you the indicator there of how much fuel you're going to have when you come around. So those tyres will be able to get through. So we should just put enough in. So she's going to have to put a full tank in if she wants to push a bit. And we can do a fast pit stop here. So no red warnings there. So we can go ahead and do that. There's not enough life in the tyres to push them, so we're still going to have to try and cool them down anyway because they're getting hot even in conserve mode. And we've got a couple of laps here that we can do with Santa Ana. Although we're starting to slow down. Is that because of the tyres wearing out? Although they're not in any sort of danger zone at the moment, but we lost a couple of places there. So will Santa Ana have enough fuel in it to push on this last lap here? So we come around, so we've come past the pits now, so can we push her? Looks like we have. We've got quite a bit of fuel here. Last pair of soft tyres. We'll just put 1 extra lap in. Should we go for a... No, we'll go for that. Don't need to push too much. So hopefully now she got enough to life in these tyres to push them quite a little bit. Lattinen's making her pit stop. Where's she going to filter back out here? 14th, not too bad. She does have a little bit of excess fuel. We have 7 laps to go, so she can push. We'll probably push her towards the end of the race, and we need to push these tyres to get them up to temperature a little bit. Lattinen's stuck behind another car here, slowing her down, so that's not working in her favour. So we're here in 4th place, and a lot of these are going to have pretty warm medium tyres towards the end of the race. And it looks like they might have to make another pit stop for fuel at some point. So we're going to turn Santa Ana down for this, and we're going to push on the new tyres. So where's she going to get back out? Probably around 12th place here. Back out into 11th place even. But a lot of these look like they could be forced to make another stop here because they are pushing the engines. And since you can only hold 8 laps of fuel, it does look like they might need to do that. So we're just going to bide our time here We've got Santa Ana and Latinum pretty close together. We're just going to bide our time and hope this strategy works out for us towards the end of the race. So there's a lot of these cars pits. We should be at just about. We're going to run in neutral with the tyres because they do seem to heat up quite a lot on this track, although the temperature's dropping. Doesn't look to be any rain coming, so that's good for us. And yeah, as I thought, some of these are doing 3 stops, so they've come in now. I'm getting on the back of them, so we might be able to pass some of the other ones here as they start to make their pit stops. So we might be able to get a point finish here, hopefully. I'm not counting on it too much, but it would be a great result for us here. Even finishing here would be a great result for us because I didn't think we were going to be anywhere near around here. I think we've got enough to push now, haven't we? We'll push for a little bit, see how we go on, just as these cars are about to come round, see if we can get in front of them. I think a few of them are going to start thinking about coming to the pits now. We do have nice fresh tyres almost, so we're going to have to conserve with Latin in here to get her through to the end. Getting quite hot, these tyres. So what can we do? So are a lot of them going to try and make it to the end? Are they going to run out of fuel if they do that? So maybe it's going to be like on the last lap, we're going to be able to jump a few of them as they start running out of fuel. So it looks like the computer's going to try and risk it. Yeah, as they're all running in low engine mode now. A lot of these cars, the ones that didn't pit like these two did, they're running in low engine mode, so maybe they don't have enough fuel to get to the end of the race. So we got about 3 laps left, haven't we? So we're coming round to 2 laps left, so we've definitely got enough fuel now to push. Maybe not in Latinen's car, we're going to have to keep an eye out for the last lap there, but we've definitely got enough fuel to push with Santa Ana to the end. Hopefully some of these tyres are getting well worn here, right on the borderline. Look, these are about to go, these tyres, so we probably should be able to pick up a few extra places before the end of the race here. So we've got Santa Ana coming round, she's chasing DeWolf here. So hopefully we can get some sort of we can get back in front here. These cars gain distance on a few of them towards the last lap, so we're now on to the final lap. Don't think anyone's slowing down. Have we got a couple of cars slowing down? Although we got bunched up there right on this corner. I think that's going to affect us getting a points finish there. We could have probably got a points finish there if we weren't being held up there, although it does look like one of the other cars has run out of fuel here. A lot of them are running out of fuel, so it does look like, could we get a point? And we are actually up into 5th place, aren't we? So I don't think we're going to catch 4th, but Santa Ana's going to get another 2 points here. So absolutely another brilliant race there, finishing 5th and 6th. Latinen just had enough fuel there to get across the finish line, so absolutely well managed there, getting 28% and 0 laps as we came across the line. Pretty well managed getting right to the limit there with Santa Ana. So 5th and 6th again, that's another 2 points for us. Santa Ana defying the odds again and getting more points, doing absolutely brilliantly. So I think that bit of rain early on helped us out quite a lot there, as we were able to maintain a bit of strategy, because it seems the computer seems to push quite a bit during the race and really mess themselves up for the last lap, thinking they can get round like in low engine mode. Whereas with us, we like to conserve our fuel. That's what we like to do, and we like to make sure that for the last 2 laps we can just go ahead and just go for it on those last 2 laps and just try and blast past everyone else. Let's just try to manage and hold on to the end of the race. We want a nice fresh car with decent tyres, enough fuel, whereas the other car strategy seemed to be like, let's blow through everything that we can early on in the race. Whereas we just sit by and we bide our time, run our strategy, and it seems to work out for you. So Santa Ana's keeping hold of 3rd place in the driver's standings here. I don't think we've got any chance of catching up to the Esprit car with Rick de Graaf in it. He's pulling ahead here, only Jessica Monroe in the MRT holding on to him there. I'm not sure whether the other MRT is right here at the bottom, so Frankie Parks is doing nowhere near as well as his teammate. So is that good enough to keep us in 3rd place? It is, so we're keeping ahead here in 3rd place, ahead of the Boa, which won the Asia Pacific Super Cup in the 1st season and were in the World Motorsport Championship last season. Hasn't worked out for them, as they seem to struggle a little bit this season. And Matt and Neil, who were one of the best teams, I'm not quite sure if they're one of the best teams still, but they're struggling right down here in 9th place. That's the halfway point of the season, and we've got a driver, and we've got the car in 3rd place in the standings. So it's absolutely it's a really great result so far. So hopefully we can sort of hold on to that. I would expect Santa Ana to start dropping down, but hopefully we can hold on to the constructors' placings. I want us to finish in the top 5. That has become our new aim here. Everyone's still happy. We've lost some marketability along the way somewhere, so maybe one of these lost one of the temporary boosts. I don't think that's going to put us back down to a 2-star sponsor, is it? I don't think it is. Hopefully it's not. I think we've got enough alone in the team marketability area, and it has put us back down to 2%, and it's because of Latin in there. But we've got quite long contracts with some of these, so hopefully we shouldn't be losing too much money. So we've done quite well there. So we've built the gearbox, we've got that up to speed now that we wanted. We're waiting for the telemetry centre to be built so we can go ahead and do something like this. We can go ahead, build this risky part, and then we want to build one with this on, and then one again with this, and hopefully this. I think maybe we can, I want to try and get these 4 done. So hopefully we can have a gearbox by the end of the season that is over 500. That is the hope, because if we can get that for next season, a gearbox that's rated 500, currently a gearbox is 350, that will be a massive leap forward for the car for next season. And obviously with the spec engines and that gearbox, we might be up there in terms of competitiveness, as in results to top speed and acceleration. That would be a massive boost for us next season, and hopefully it won't be in the next update, because how long left is there? 5 weeks left, so it'll probably be 2 down the line that we're doing the spec rear wing vote. So hopefully we can go ahead and get that ratified and get that put through, so we get that done. So then we only have to focus on the gearbox, which we should have a decent one for next season. So then next season we should be focusing on maybe the brakes, or maybe just try to get a bit of a some pretty decent front wing on it. Maybe that would be what we aim for next season. But then again, our designer, who I kind of like and don't want to get rid of, but maybe we would have to go ahead and think about replacing him and try and get someone who's got a better front wing stat, as that was what we will be focusing on. For the moment, the engine and the gearbox were the most important things, that's why we went for him. So yeah, so hopefully we can do that. But until next time, where we will be at Dubai, it's another pretty short track again. It should be, I would expect it to be a clear race. It looks like it might be one where we might be able to do alright in qualifying without being bunched up too much. Although there's a couple of really slow corners here. I'm looking forward to the Rio de Janeiro one. It sort of looks like the real life track, the real life Brazilian Grand Prix here, doesn't it? With this corner and right back around here. So I'm looking forward to this race. The Sydney Grand Prix looks like a good one. I'm looking forward to the oval track, and then we finish on the British one. So yeah, next time we're back in Dubai. We've reached the halfway point of the season, so next time we're on race 7. So if you want to see how we go on this season and you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video and you think we're doing well, and leave me a comment if you think I can be doing anything better, whether you think I should be building anything else. I am pretty set that I'm going for the gearboxes before the end of the season. That's what I want to get built. I'm not sure about building any of the new HQ parts, because I've got the telemetry centre being built, so maybe it's next season that we think about building something else. But yeah, so anyway, until next time, I'll see you down the road at the Dubai Grand Prix, and goodbye.